So I was struggling with what to film this week, but thankfully I have a story for you that happened literally like a few days ago. So on Wednesday night of the week just gone, I went to a gig to a punk rock band called Swimmers. Now I've never heard of the band before until like I was asked to go by my friend Beth. She asked if I want to go and see them and thought I would like their music, so I started listening to them, and I really do like the music. Like their music is really good. I was like really excited for it and everything, and a few days before we were supposed to go and see the band, I remember Beth saying to me, how are you with mosh pits? Because obviously it's a punk rock band. Normally there are mosh pits at like rock concerts and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I've never been to one, so I don't know, but I'm claustrophobic. Like, not massively claustrophobic, but in a lot of circumstances I don't like the idea of being like confined in a lot of places. So I was like, I might just kind of stand at the side. I was like, I don't know, I'll see how it is when we get there. So it comes to Wednesday night, we go to the concert, and it's about 350 people, maybe 400 at a push. Not a massive concert, like it was just in an academy in Manchester. I'm there, I have my backpack with me, and I do take my camera with me because I want to do live music photography as a job, so I take my camera with me. So I had my bag on my back, which had my camera in it, and my jacket, and a battery pack as well. So even then I was still quite like bulked up, and I thought, oh, I'll probably just stay towards the side because I didn't want the camera getting damaged. So then the concert starts. There were two support acts. I can't remember the name of the first one because we were like in and out when they were on, and then there was the second support act, which was a girl band called The Regrets, they were really good, like really good. Listen to them, try taking them pictures, and then Swimmers come on, and everything just goes fucking insane. Mosh pits start. Even if you try and avoid it, you just get dragged into them because it was such a small venue. You will just get dragged into it. So there were a few times of just getting like knocked about and whatever. I never kind of actively went into one because I was kind of like scared about it a wee bit, and I had my camera, so I was trying to take pictures. Even when I was knocked about, I wasn't bothered. It was still pretty fun. It was very warm, very sweaty, which I've kind of never experienced that amount before at a gig. Concert keeps going on, and then right towards the end, they do is what any kind of band would normally do. They say, oh, this is our last song, and then go off, and then they come back for a song or two. And then I remember on the very last song, Cole, who is the lead singer, comes up right close to where the fans were, and I remember Beth saying to me, he's gonna jump in the crowd. And then he just jumps in, starts like obviously crowd surfing. We'd managed to work our way like towards the front, and everyone just pushed forward. There was a mosh pit behind us, and everyone was like jumping about and either in the mosh pit or trying to get as close as I could to Cole to like obviously be near him. And I remember getting pushed to the side, and someone stood on my foot, and I just went down into the crowd. And at that point, Cole had moved like around kind of where we were, and he was literally on top of me. But because there was me and I think another girl next to me who had obviously been knocked over, he was just, all the weight of him was just on top of us. Plus there were still people trying to get him up. So I just remember that I couldn't see anything except for specks of light of like the gap where he was moving about and people's legs. And I was holding on to Beth's legs, absolutely screaming her name out and shouting, saying, help, I can't breathe. Because it was so warm, and I just felt like I was being crushed. I was practically being crushed because Cole was practically sat on top of me and this other girl. So because he was slipping, all of the weight was coming down on us, and people were trying to get him back up, and I was pushing it with all of my weight, and he just didn't seem to be going anywhere. It felt like an eternity that was stuck under there. And I thought to myself, I'm either going to pass out from the heat or the panic, or I'm going to get out of this and start having a panic attack and just freaking out. Because with being claustrophobic, I was confined, I was being crushed, I was like freaking out. And eventually they started getting him, like lifting him up and moving him away, and I just remember a guy grabbing hold of my arm and me grabbing for Beth and getting pulled back up. I was just absolutely coated in sweat, and the guy was like, are you okay, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. And Beth was like, shit, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And I remember just walking away afterwards, and I was just like, we'll get on with it. And I saw the rest of the show, walked away from it, and I remember Beth coming up to me and just hugging me, and she was like, are you okay? I was like, yes, I'm fine. And my hands were just like that. I just couldn't stop shaking because one, it was terrifying. Two, obviously there was some sort of adrenaline kind of pumping through because obviously like you're freaking out. So I was just absolutely shaking for ages and ages and ages. And Beth just kept saying, are you okay, are you okay? And I was fine. I was just really freaked out. If I'd went into like having a panic attack or passing out, then obviously I wouldn't have been okay. It was one of the weirdest and like scariest experiences I've ever had at a concert, but it just made it kind of the experience something new and different. And I honestly did, I enjoyed the gig so much. Like, it was so good because the energy was just so different to anything I've ever been to before. So even afterwards I was absolutely fine. I'd calmed down, cooled off, I'd stopped shaking and everything. And it's now the day after. I don't know if you can tell, but my throat's still very croaky, because even though I do know the songs, I wasn't like singing to all of them, but I was like shouting and stuff. And then obviously I think with the amount of screaming that I did when I was being crushed, I think it's just like knackered my throat. And then I didn't get home till nearly 1 o'clock. So now I'm like battered and bruised. I feel like I'm hungover for some reason. The effect of that gig has made me feel like hungover more than anything, which is really weird. That's a story about how I went to my first kind of punk rock gig and got crushed by the lead singer of the band. But yeah, like I said, it didn't change the night for me. I still loved the concert. The music was amazing, and overall just had a really good time. I hope you enjoyed this little story for this week, and I will see you next week. Bye.